Friday, April 19. If we read through the story of ancient Israel in the wilderness, we can see a litany of mistake after mistake in the face of great changes, even despite the amazing revelation of God's love and power. In fact, before Israel was to finally enter the Promised Land and thus face another great change, Moses said the following in Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 3 to 9. "Your eyes have seen what the Lord did at Baal Peor, for the Lord your God has destroyed from among you all the men who followed Baal of Peor. But you who held fast to the Lord your God are alive today, every one of you. Surely I have taught you statutes and judgments, just as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should act according to them in the land which you go to possess. Therefore be careful to observe them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the peoples, who will hear all these statutes and say, 'Surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.' For what great nation is there that has God so near to it as the Lord our God is to us, for whatever reason we may call upon him? And what great nation is there that has such statutes and righteous judgments as are in all this law which I set before you this day? Only take heed to yourselves, and diligently keep yourself, lest you forget the things your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life. And teach them to your children and your grandchildren." How crucial that we not forget what the Lord has done for us, and what better way not to forget than to teach it to others and to those who come after us. Notice, too, how central the family was in all this, in that they were to teach these things to their children. And the sin at Peor was something that only could be destructive to family life. Ellen White writes in the Adventist Home, page 326, "The crime that brought the judgments of God upon Israel was that of licentiousness. The forwardness of women to entrap souls did not end at Baal Peor." And that brings us to our two discussion questions for this week. 1. In class, talk about some of the preparations you made in facing any of the big stages in life, marriage, parenting, old age, or anything else. How did the changes impact your family? What have you learned that could help others facing the same stages? 2. Think about David's words to Solomon, again in the context of his sin with Bathsheba, a calamity that cast a shadow over the rest of David's reign and greatly impacted his family for the worse. In what ways, amid it all, do we see the reality of God's grace at work? You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide by Dr. Percy Harold from Queensland, Australia. This service is brought to you by Hope Channel, the Sabbath School Department, and Christian Services for the Blind. Remember, God is always faithful.